What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling a little bit better than inflation numbers today. Hope you guys are hanging in there. I'm gonna go with AJ. I'm just gonna start saying AJ. I'm gonna give you a nickname. We got AJ in the house. Good morning to you, Albert, Amy, Andy, Bill, Brad, Carolyn. Good morning to you, Frank. JT's in the house. Good morning to Kevin, Lauren. Lou, good morning to you. We got Lucian, Lydia, Malik. Good morning. We got Marius, Martina, Rick, Rob. T Flow is in the house. What's up, T Flow? We got Tim. We got Wakanda Forever in the house. Okay, good movie. Good movie. We got Mustafa saying gold medal. First one in the YouTube chat. Good morning to you. Congrats on that gold medal. We still have platinum and I think rhodium is a little bit more rare than gold actually. So, but there you go, gold medal. Hop on that platform. We got Jennifer. Good morning to you. M Sky, Jason Low, all my lurkers in the background of YouTube that just don't want to say nothing. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe buttons. But yeah, we were sitting good until inflation was a little bit higher than expected. So we got CPI came out today, and that one we could see in real time. This is real time bull tiers right here at 8:30. So everything was looking decent. Couple companies still surviving, hanging out there. Otherwise, yep, market response not great to that one. That's a lot of pressure to the downside. We are probably trapping a decent amount of bulls at this point. Um, right in the middle of this for SPY at least, we're right back in the middle of this just sideways chop zone. So how we get there, I don't know. 2 days inside the both green, but inside day of this Friday sell-off candle. So that would actually put us with a little bit of retest for today. Um, do we come down first? I don't know. Support resistance, I got 598.63, so we'll see where we want to open. If we can open above that, maybe we get that immediate little bounce to bulls that are just unstoppable. Buy this thing back up at least to like $600.92. We still got the other half of the CPI tomorrow as well. I think what do we have? PPI tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we got the next support. If we open a little bit, pretty much actually where we're at now, I would expect a little pullback. 597.76. If we can't hold that, we have a lot more room to the downside. And that's where the bigger panic fear selling comes in, all the way down to 594.29. So we have kind of a little bit all over the place. Depends on where we open, really. Now we just jumped up above that support resistance. So again, if we could open there, I would expect, I think, a little bit more of a retest. I don't know. I don't know that the bulls are going to just leave the market and there's just fear, panic everywhere, especially with some more numbers coming out tomorrow. So I think, yeah, numbers came in hot. I think we're just shopping more or less. The sideways grind is still happening. We got the Qs. Also, it's a gap and go from yesterday and the day before, but that Friday candle, we didn't breach that in one direction or another. Still inside that candle. I think this one's a little bit more dominant and it's looking for support somewhere right around where we're opening right now. So I don't know. Maybe at least the initial reaction or the initial panic selling is already in for SPY and Qs. We get a little bounce. That bounce that I'm looking for is on the Qs, 523.75, and then we have to see what happens from there. If we can get back above it, the market just hangs right back into the zone, and you got 525.68 all the way back to like 527.95. If we cannot open here, if we breaking down a little bit, the next target to the downside would take me into 518.42, and that should be a good one. We should hold that one. I would be in fear panic mode if we start breaking that one. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know if you guys got tickers that you want to take a look at. There is a lot of a bunch of companies kind of moving today. Yep, Tesla's the first one. They actually had a little bit of an upgrade coming in. So I think they had a call from a firm saying they're looking at price targets at 475, which is an interesting that would be an interesting spot. Or not interesting spot, but interesting time to upgrade. Tesla. A lot of these companies, they come out, or analysts come out, and they'll still only upgrade if a stock is already kind of moving. So a little counter call to Tesla. We were looking okay before. Again, with the rest of the market, the weakness, it's already, this might be an opportunity for some of the bulls, 3 days in a row, just pretty big, massive selling to start to sell some of their shares. So I think we get a volatile open on Tesla. I wouldn't say straight up, straight down, but I think you do have a lot of potential bulls still trapped in this one. This upgrade might give them a quick opportunity to just get out, lock in some of the gains. Um, Maybe try to flip the position a little bit. But looking at 333.74, if we can get above that, and yeah, 333.74, if we can start getting above that, you might have room into like this 340.39. Otherwise, I think the upgrade is really just noise, and I think it's going to be very, very strong downtrends. I think some of the bulls, again, just bulls, I think are just trapped at this point. And we have the 200. That's sitting at 299.81. We'll call it 300. And you got your 100 EMA at 346.07. Again, we use that. We open below it, use it as resistance, and we're kind of in this chop zone. So at least they got some finally positivity, some kind of news, some kind of hopium for the Bulls to kind of say maybe this is a reverse spot. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, and we do have still this gap fill down to like this little gap fill into 319.68. So I think we come a little bit lower. I'm not just I don't think Tesla just rampage is higher on that. And then again, you also have SPY and Q's getting beat up. This is actually staying positive for the day, so we're not crashing. Although yesterday after hours we were down considerably a lot more, but so they're going to be a little stronger than the market, I think today. But overall, I think that trend still going to outweigh everything. So I'm not going to go complete bull mode unless we start breaking out of the previous VPOC. We'll see. We got Coinbase. Coinbase. Well, first of all, let's look at Bitcoin again. We did have Bitcoin looked like it was trying to break out. Lots and lots of consolidation. Interestingly enough, we're still in this candle with good volume. We have not broken this down. I think our sign for Bitcoin is if we start hitting like this 91,400 zone, 91,431, and we get especially candles to close past that 100 again. It's going to be a rough go ahead for the crypto space. We haven't done anything since this day, so more or less just hanging out. Not a great open for today. Actually, the open was okay. We were just kind of chilling. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, so the open for today was 95,802. That is below a lot of previous VPOCs. Probably looking to hold this 95,476. We haven't been able to do that. It looks a little bit weak. Your next spot is essentially the low of today, 94,302. If you get a bounce off that, which we got the bounce already. If we get back down there, probably a little bit easier to break. And then you got 93,258 is the next thing to hold you. But it does look like we're continuing down on Bitcoin for the moment. That being said, Coinbase probably looking to just follow suit a little bit. The only difference is you at least have some earnings on Coinbase February 13th. So that would take us to this Thursday. So just be aware that that's out there. For day trade purpose, this would be a decent retest gap. We are opening into a little bit of support. Again, just not a huge range. I think to the bear side is a way I would be looking to play Coinbase. And hopefully we just don't get the stop outs for people buying dips before earnings coming out. But I think that retest should come in to 267.23. That would be the spot I would love to look to go short. I think we get decent risk reward somewhere in that zone. And if at open we're sitting, do we even get that full on retest? I don't know. We got two decent VPOCs over here. Yeah, as close as possible to this candle. We might not even get to the yesterday's VPOC. But I think trying to attempt to go short, quick little green candle that open, and then maybe we could kind of come down. Then you got your 100 you got to deal with too. So it's a little bit choppy in here, and they might just continue to keep it choppy. I think a little bit more pressure to the bear side than anything else, especially if we start to lose Bitcoin. Nvidia, Nvidia was has been decent. We still have a bunch of bull days in a row. Kind of didn't really do too much of yesterday. Some kind of decent resistance now, sitting at 133.70-ish. And you do have a gap and go to the bear side today. You should have really decent support. I would think around 129.38 to 129. If we start breaking 129, I think this thing probably at least comes in for a decent pullback. And for today, maybe like 128.22. If things get serious in the markets, maybe get 126.15. SMCI, yeah, so they did have earnings. They weren't great. They were a little bit worse than expected. That being said, we don't know. We don't actually still know, Lucian. These guys are some slimy guys. Very slimy. Yeah, so they did have earnings. It was a miss on earnings per share from what was expected. It was a miss on revenue. So not great earnings. Again, completely still beat up, so you can survive with a couple bad earnings. They did say that they were going to release their or have the correct paperwork so they don't get delisted. They haven't done it yet. Shocking. I don't know. But February 25th is their deadline. They're going to meet the deadline. So they tell us from the mouths of the board of SMCI. The people we did not hear from is BDO, so we don't have any actual confirmation if that's actually going to happen. That's the people we need to hear from. And we did not hear from them last night. So I don't know. I think you're still in a in an interesting spot. But again, earnings not great, and earnings really don't matter. It's with a miss or beat, it doesn't really matter. It just depends on, is this company going to be delisted or not? Is that paperwork going to be filed? They are telling us yes, so there is some hope. Maybe we could play for that on a day trade. You have a gap and go from yesterday, still inside of this Monday candle. Maybe get a little bit of a pullback at open into this 41.65. See if that could hold. If that holds, maybe you have a day trade up to like 44.11, and then you got your 200 at 45.63. I don't think I'd be expecting a big move today. Maybe I'm wrong here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row. Everybody's kind of expecting something. They gave us a little bit, but I don't know if it was the market reaction is good. I don't know. I think we gotta make sure they don't get delisted first, or the next excuse kind of comes out. I did see Amazon. Amazon. We've got hanging in there. So you got a gap and go on Friday. Just kind of hanging out 2 days. Today is another gap and go to the bear side. The only thing with this one, and I like the play to the short side, is we do have support from this Friday candle. That 229.06. If we could get through that, I think the next I think there's a couple spots you see a little hesitation. Right here, the low of Friday also is this VPOC and this one as well. So 227.80. I think you have the possibility to get through those. And then maybe for today, Target would take us to like 225.92, which would be a pretty solid trade. Again, if the market absolutely just throws up today, you're looking at 223 for a stretch target. That could be a very interesting setup though on Amazon. I kind of like it. 2 days consolidation after a gap and go. We might get continuation today. And I would love to try it up here too. So maybe Again, I don't know. Maybe we don't break through this and we're just not weak and they don't want to sell anything. If you get that bounce at open, I wouldn't mind the attempt at 232.08 trying to short this thing high, coming to yesterday's VPOC and then fail. Then we'll be profitable into this 229 with the hopes of kind of a breakdown on it. So we'll see if that comes in for a retest first. Otherwise, if this breaks, I'll let it break first, come back, try to retest it, and then catch it on that retest for that. That does look interesting. It's a little heavy. We got Upstart and I see Palantir as well. Upstart came in, yeah, out of all the earnings, this one was the winner. They were expecting a loss of 4 cents. They came in, reported 26 cents to the positive. Massive beat on earnings per share. Pretty big surprise. You got a $37 million beat, so up by 20% on the revenue standpoint. Obviously, decent volume coming in from earnings yesterday. So, this is a big move already. You do have resistance at 83.09. You got your last resistance at 84.07. If it could break 84.07, she gone. It takes off. I think I don't know how much of a fade, but I think I would rather, and that's a tough one, but I would rather not go long. Let's actually just put it that way. I don't know if I want to go short on this one. This is a for sure massive gap. I think they have a decent short flow too. But yeah, I don't want to go long on this one until you get like some confirmation above this 84.07. Otherwise, I think we're just in this zone. I think it's probably a little bit more of a retest, but I don't know how strong that pullback is today as well. So we'll watch it. We'll see if we get any cool setups. Maybe I could try to find a short, but I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's a tough one. I don't know. Not having the paperwork by the earnings call is not a good look for them. I don't think SMCI cares about their appearance, to be honest. I don't think they're so vain, Lucian. If they really cared, they probably would have had the paperwork in like 6 months ago. Yeah, at this point, they're just riding out the reputation. You got Palantir. Palantir is. Can we skip this one? Am I allowed to take a pass on a stock? Can I do that? Technically, you got the retest from yesterday, which that would be our kind of resistance, 113.35-ish, somewhere in that zone. And our support on this one is 107.99. Uh, I don't know. It doesn't ever go down, so I guess just look for buy the dips on this. I don't know. It's up there. If you can break this 107.77, I think your next target would firmly land you to like a 103.51. That's probably where your buy the dippers are sitting. That would get you some decent risk to reward having your stop like $99 in that range. And then hopefully that this candle doesn't really break down, especially even this candle had more volume on it. So we'll see. I don't think I could really go long, even if it's hitting this 107. I think maybe for a day trade purpose, if it comes all the way down to 103.51, that's probably your buy spot. If you're going to attempt to short Palantir, I would rather take that money, go out, buy a mirror, just look into it for like hours, and just question why you make your decisions how you do. That's probably I would question a lot of my life because it just goes up. Nobody wins on the shorts ever. But if you want some risk reward, maybe if it comes up to like this 113.15 and mirrors aren't on sale, that would be your spot. Maybe throw your stop at like 119.21. But it just doesn't ever come down. So I don't know. All right, what other tickers we got? Did we miss any? That was it? All right. AMD, let's take a look at. And if you guys got other ones, let me know. AMD. We have had two strong days in a row. Surprisingly strong days. The market coming down, not going to help something like AMD. This one is opening at support, slightly under it. So we'll have to see where this one opens. If we could open anywhere above 110.02, you might get your push at least into 111.40 and see if you get some kind of bounce on this one. Otherwise, probably playing this one to the short side will continue to make sense. And I think you'd have to have some kind of retest into like this 108.39. So it might have a little room to the downside depending on where this one opens. You got Unity Software. It's just been a mess. Yeah, there's been no buyers. We had an opportunity on this one. When I say we, I mean bulls. But we have they tried, and then you have almost bearish engulfing candle, gap down under key support. That was your retest into it, and I think to the downside is still the direction. For today, you do have a little bit of support sitting at $19. Otherwise, I think probably back to $17.88 is what you'd be waiting for if you're going to try to buy it. We got ticker 4593. Um, Again, I'm not familiar with any of these. Not my go-to stocks. I usually trade the U.S. market, but for this one, it looks like you had a good retest gap. You are at all-time highs. Pretty decent volume that right now you have some support. So if this one's going to get a continuation, I'd see if you get a break above 303 again. And then that target would run you into about 324. Anything past 324, there's not a lot of volume holding you up until about 360. Otherwise, the pattern looks decent. You do have almost inverted head and shoulders down here. Nice little almost cup and handle. There's your pullback, and I think you're making a run. I don't know if we've gone too far on this one, but that is a good breakout, good bull flag, and you kind of just put in a retest gap. So, um, I think you could try this one long. That support should hold you again once you start breaking this 274 zone. I would just chill out because then you probably have a bigger push to 233 on that one. But right now looks pretty bullish. Lucian says Palantir is a very American first company that only works. I don't know why I have such trouble reading this. Palantir is a very America first company that only works with companies and countries that share Western values. So Trump opposed. Yeah, so they're a little bit of a maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit of a Trump play as well. Intel actually might be starting to become a little bit of a Trump play too. So you had JD Vance talking at the AI summit the other day, and this one is still gapping up right now with the market coming down. So this one's doing a little bit different than the rest of the market. It is a retest gap, and you're opening into resistance, but this might be one to watch as well. But yeah, JD Vance kind of talking up Intel at the summit yesterday. So this one might start to have some moves for today. You do have the 100 you're opening right into. Then you also have previous pivot VPOC, otherwise strong support somewhere around $19. But maybe this one comes in for the retest first if you want to try it. I would either see if you get this pullback in the 2112, see if that holds, or if we do somehow open through here again. The only other thing you have to, that's a good open actually. If we open at $22, that's a really good open. I wouldn't actually want to see a huge pullback, maybe a high wave candle, something like that. But otherwise, you have this huge downtrend we got to face and this 100. But it perked up a little bit yesterday from JD, and it is doing something different than the market. Tim says, "Did you look at Intel?" Yeah, literally right now we are actually looking at Intel. Like it is the one we are talking about at the moment, Tim. So, yeah, it's starting to look good. I don't know how that's a good open if we could open at $22. Still might want to see like a little high wave indecision, which would make sense at that 100, but that's going up on this list. Yep, does looking a little bit different. Uber. Uber, we have a little bit weak, almost island reversal. I'm not sure if you have a little gap in there or not. Not the best looking island reversal. Um, if you could get above, this would be a retest gap from yesterday, which was a bearish engulfing candle. If you can get an open above pretty much where we're at now, so I'd say about 75.10 or higher, I would think that this was actually more of a retest, but that is a good bearish engulfing candle. And probably playing this one for the fade higher would make sense into 77.20 if you get there. You will have to climb back above this, but maybe some sentiment's changing. Again, Tesla kind of got the upgrade today, and Uber is almost an inverse Tesla play. So if Tesla all works out and you have the driverless cars, that's going to probably eventually hurt Uber unless they do some kind of partnership. And I don't think Elon is really more of a partnership kind of guy. So, you know, Lyft is did Lyft come out with earnings? Is it sympathy of Lyft for today? Yeah, that one looks rough. Again, also a retest gap. For now, I would say that this one is probably a little bit more of a fade. I don't think we get up to $14 today. But if this is going to fade higher, you got 12.89, and that's if we open anywhere 12.24 or higher. If we open below that, I think you have a little bit more room, at least into 11.86, and if not into 11.67. How was their earnings? Earnings were okay. Earnings per share, they missed by, or they made 8 cents earnings per share, so 42% higher than expected. So not bad there. Their revenue portion of things is they missed by 8.99 million. And I don't know what their forecast looks like, but that does seem like a little bit of an overreaction. However, the chart is telling me that this is probably not a bullish play unless it's for a day trade for again a quick fade, maybe a 1.2, and then I'd probably be out. This is not a great open for him. And my guess would be longer term pattern is a little bit more to the downside with some pressure. For right now, we are hanging in some support, and this is a pretty fairly big gap already. So I think I wouldn't mind looking at the fade on this one. But again, high wave candle, something like that. Give me some kind of indecision down here, and then we'll see if we could kind of run that up. And again, we also have to find out what the rest of the market is doing too. If the market just wants to sell all day, any of the fades are going to be a lot tougher. So definitely the 1.2s, something in that vicinity, would be interesting. Other than that, this bell's about right on cue. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button in YouTube land. Otherwise, be safe today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We do have some more reports coming out 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll see how the market wants to handle those. You guys are awesome. Later, guys.